Wilson Ramos supplied all the offense needed as the Rays grabbed game one of this four-game series. Tonight, right-hander Jake Odorizzi goes to the hill, looking to keep Boston at bay. It's an AL East showdown between the Rays and the Red Sox next. It was an impressive performance last night for the Rays versus Chris Sale and the Boston Red Sox as the Rays came away with a 4-1 victory in the first game of this four-game series. Tonight on tap, game two between the Rays and the Red Sox. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you aboard. Well, the Rays have evened the series, the season series, at 4 games apiece with last night's win over the Boston Red Sox. And BA, when these two teams get together, two top 5 offensive teams in the American League, contrasting styles. Rays like to play long ball, and the Red Sox like to get them on and move them around.
That's the thing. Different ways to get the desired results is what you see from these two teams. And for the Rays, it is all about the extra base hit. 254 of those. That's 4th in the American League, specifically the long ball. 2nd in home runs with 131. You see the slugging percentage. This is a team that you make mistakes out over the plate, they're going to hurt you in a big way. And they've got 3 guys on this squad with at least 16 home runs. They get it done with the big shot. For the Boston Red Sox, it's all about creating opportunities, and you can see that they are dead last in the American League in home runs, but they make up for that. A good average. They'll take their walks, as you see, 3rd in on-base percentage in the American League. They'll steal some bags, and then once they get these guys into position, they are very, very good with runners in scoring position. 3rd in the American League in that category. So they move them around, move them over, and they get them in 2 different ways, but they both very effective.
One of the guys who's been a big part of the Rays offense is their DH, Corey Dickerson, and now he has a partner going to the All-Star game. Rich Hollenberg will have more on that when we return.
In Game 2 of this 4-game series inside Tropicana Field. Archer will be going Sunday in this series against Boston, and we learned earlier today that he will also be pitching Tuesday on short rest, and for good reason. Chris Archer has been named to the American League pitching staff of the All-Star Game this year. Our Toyota Inside Look, Archer second in the AL with 139 Ks. Big bounce-back season for him compared to last year. He has been one of the dominant pitchers in the American League this season, and he says he gives credit to everyone around him.
I've known for a couple of days now that the possibility was there, and I'm extremely excited. You know, obviously none of this would be happening. None of it would be possible if I didn't have great teammates. It's not only an achievement personally, but for the organization, you know, because you can't do this on your own, not as a pitcher. So I'm grateful that the process worked out in my favor around the league. They took notice, and I'm very, very excited.
Archer will be making his second All-Star appearance, joining Scott Kazmir and David Price as the only Rays pitchers to be on multiple All-Star teams. Interestingly enough, he and Price face off in Game 4 of this Rays and Red Sox series. But up next, it's Dwayne and BA with the call of Game 2, with countdown to first pitch at just over 3 minutes.
Jake Odorizzi heads to the mound to square off against the Boston Red Sox tonight on the heels of the Rays' 4-1 victory over Boston last night. Take a look at the starting lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. Boston with Mookie Betts to lead it off, Benintendi next, followed by Pedroia, Moreland, Ramirez, and Bradley Jr. down the middle. Vasquez will do the catching. He'll hit 7th. Landed short, and Marrero at 3rd, rounding out John Farrell's lineup.
And Jake Odorizzi will be looking for the 6th win of the season here in his 16th start. That ERA just over 4 at 4.08, 79 and a third innings on the season for Jake.
First pitch of this game, and that's a strike call by the plate umpire Jerry Meals. So this one is underway. Just a bit wide there, and it's a ball and a strike.
I think the goal tonight here for Jake Odorizzi is efficiency. Over his last 6 starts, averaging about 19.5 pitches per, and that's limited him to an average of 5 innings to start. And we know that Jake is one of those guys that takes a lot of pride in getting deep into ball games. Hasn't been able to do that because hasn't been quite as efficient as he'd like.
He's ahead of Betts, and he strikes him out. Efficient right there. 4 pitches in and a strikeout.
Boy, and a nasty little finish right there. 84 mile an hour. That ball moving down and away from Mookie Betts. Jake Odorizzi, he's going to attack these Boston hitters. A little bit of a slider right there. He's fastball, cutter. Of course, has the change-up curveball.
So 1 away. And here's Andrew Benintendi. And a first pitch strike, fastball right down central. Well, that's one way. If he can get ahead of hitters, one way he can limit that pitch count and increase his efficiency. Fouled away, 0-2.
Well, he is the king of the foul ball, too. Yeah, the way that he likes to work up in the zone. And guys are able to get up. They can't really get on top of it and drive it, put it in play, but they certainly can foul it off, and he'll get a lot of long at-bats, which adds to that pitch count.
There's a foul ball off to the left on the fastball up. When Jake is going extremely well, he's got that fastball up and then that changeup with great dip in it.
Changing eye levels, getting swings.
Fly ball lifted into left center field. It's Corey Dickerson making the catch. 2 gone.
Well, let's take a quick look at the Rays defense. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. And in that outfield, left to right, we're going to have, of course, Corey Dickerson, Malik Smith, and Steven Souza Jr. Across the infield, third to first, Trevor Plouffe, Adeiny Echeverria. Brad Miller makes his return here tonight at second base with Logan Morrison, and Wilson Ramos will be behind the dish.
It's Plouffe down at third base. And a first pitch strike to Pedroia.
Evan Longoria get him a night off of his feet, keep him in the lineup at DH as you see Brad Miller, and that beard is coming in nicely.
1-1. Two balls and a strike. Pedroia hitting an even 300. He had 2 hits last night. He's on 3 times, officially 2 for 4. Attacks that one up and missed it. 2-2.
Jake right now setting a little bit of a pace here out of the windup with no base runners. He will work a little slower with guys on, but he's throwing strikes early, pounding the zone, challenging the Boston hitters.
Just a little piece of that one stayed up. Changed speeds on it. 2 outs, bases empty, 2-2 the count. Taken high, fastball up this time.
And that's always enticing to Dustin Pedroia. He likes the ball elevated, but even he understands can't get on top of that one. Does have good career numbers against Jake.
And he got him. Well, he went down with the split change and strikes him out. A 1-2-3 first for Jake Odorizzi. Steven Souza Jr. will be in the leadoff spot tonight. We'll see him when we come right back. Marlins still coming into the ballpark for the second game of this series. Take a look at the starting lineup for the Rays. Steven Souza Jr. leading off in right, followed by Corey Dickerson and Evan Longoria, the designated hitter tonight. Logan Morrison hits cleanup in front of Wilson Ramos, and Brad Miller will hit sixth. He'll play second base. Plouffe at third base. Alex Smith in center field, and Andy Echeverria hits ninth at short.
Well, Drew Pomeranz putting together a nice season here for Boston, making his 17th start. His record 8-4, ERA 3.64. Does have 92 strikeouts in just 84 innings, and he has been on a little bit of a roll here over his last 4 starts. 2-0 with a 1.5 earned run average.
Souza all set, so is Pomeranz, and the pitch is in there for a strike. He's facing the 29-year-old left-hander. Fastball high, 1-1.
It'll be interesting to see how he attacks this Rays lineup. You know, he's primarily fastball, curveball, has started to use the cutter a little bit more, gives that pitch a big reason why he's been on this streak, because it's tough to go through a lineup 3 or 4 times with just 2 pitches.
There's the breaking ball down. His curveball tends to be more top to bottom than a sweeping curveball. You won't see much of that, but over the top curveball.
Yeah, the old 12-6.
3-1 now. Dickerson on deck. 3-2. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. And ball 4. So a walk, and the Rays put the leadoff man on base.
Well, let's set the Boston defense for you. Brought to you by Golden Diamond Source. In the outfield, left to right, we have Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts. Across the infield, third to first, Devin Marrero, Tzu-Wei Lin at short, Dustin Pedroia, Mitch Moreland, Christian Vasquez behind the plate. You know, this is another one of those games, Dwayne, where you have a pitcher on the mound who in the first inning has given up the most runs, most earned runs, and most home runs allowed in any other inning combined. And you know, we know the Rays have been so very good at scoring runs early, and the leadoff walk right there, an ominous sign for Drew Pomeranz.
Move to first, back in Souza Jr. Yeah, and as we've discussed many times, if you're going to start against the Rays, you better be ready from the first pitch. Dickerson takes it high.
Yeah, they're always well prepared. As a unit, the Rays offensively very well prepared, and they just take advantage of early mistakes. And if you don't come in precise with command, they lay it on you pretty good.
A good look for ball 2. Dickerson against left-handed pitching, hitting .324, and that's the highest average in the American League among left-handed hitters against left-handed pitching. Foul back. Pitch at the top of the zone, and a 2-0 fastball. Now there's the breakout against lefties, and Dickerson tops that list ahead of Eric Hosmer. Brantley of the Indians third. Lefty on lefty. 2-1 the count. 2-2. Fastball.
That's a pitch right there that Corey Dickerson's not very often miss. You get it up and close to him, you've got a chance, but that pitch A little bit lower in the zone. Corey just swung through it. And Pomerantz is able to get back to even.
Piece of that fastball fouled, forcing another 2-2 pitch.
Well, Drew has had 2 previous starts against the Rays this season, and combined has only lasted 7 1/3 innings while giving up 7 earned runs. So he's had a tough go of it against this Rays lineup. Now they get their 3rd look at him here before the All-Star break.
There's a loss and a no decision. The 859 earned run average, reflecting the numbers you just cited.
And Rays overall have struggled against lefty starters, but they've had this gentleman's number.
Dickerson out on strikes. Fastball in. Walker now a strikeout.
And they tied him up. They come in with the fastball. Wasn't even meant to be there. Corey Dickerson doesn't know that. But you see Christian Vasquez sitting up on the outside corner and reaching back for that pitch.
Well, Evan Longoria serving as the designated hitter. A pitch that misses just outside.
I don't know what your scouting report is on Jerry Meals, but he looks that you're going to throw it out over the plate.
Yeah,
the
so
whole
far
ball
he's
is going to be
making you throw a strike. There's a strike. 1-1. Foul back, pitch away.
Staying there with all 3 fastballs, trying to get Evan Longoria to reach. We've already seen him with Steven Souza Jr. not afraid to throw that fastball in on a righty. And sometimes you can use those fastballs away and then all of a sudden set up the surprise in.
So far everything away to Longoria. And he hits a fly ball into right. Betts is there to make the catch for the 2nd out. So after the leadoff walk, a strikeout and a fly ball. And that will get Logan Morrison up there. Boy, Morrison had some great at-bats last night. You know, you're impressed by 24 home runs. Fair enough. But the at-bats he had last night against Chris Sale were some of the best at-bats he's had, or any Rays hitter has had all year.
And all 3 different styles.
Yep.
You know, a base hit to left field. Put the ball in play with 2 strikes against the toughest pitchers. Toughest starting pitcher against a hitter with 2 strikes is Chris Sale. Put the ball in play into the middle of the field for a base hit, and then roll over a nasty slider with 2 strikes to move a runner from 2nd to 3rd with just 1 out. They were tremendous.
First pitch is a strike. I mean, he's still in launch mode, but he knew last night with Sale on the mound that another approach was called for, and boy, he was very good. He's been good here for the last 15 games. That average, very healthy.
He's reached base safely for basically the last month. Every time you look up, Logan Morrison somehow, some way is finding his way on base. Just a tremendous season here so far for the Rays. And oh, by the way, playing pretty good defense down there at first base too.
Down 2 strikes to Pomerantz. Runner takes off, swinging and a miss. That retires the side. Chase the fastball up. We're at the end of an inning. No score. local Ford dealer and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. We're headed into the second inning, scoreless. The second game of this series. A 1-2-3 first inning for Jake Odorizzi. And Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, leads off the second inning against him. And there's the breaking ball, curveball in there for a strike.
Was such a weapon, and we talk about it all the time. These right-handed pitchers with the curveball, be able to drop it in there against a lefty, get yourself a quick strike and a quick start in the count.
1-1. Another good start there for Jake, getting out in front for 4 in first pitch strikes.
The first step towards efficiency. Remember, I think it was coming into last season where Jake was talking about wanting to get deeper into games, doing whatever he had to do, tried to get stronger physically.
Into center field, lifted out to Smith, who makes the catch. Malik Smith grabs it. That's the first out in the second.
Think about a starting staff that's able to do that. And when you look at the Rays, you know, Chris Archer, we know, can pitch deep into ball games. We know that Jake Odorizzi is capable. You know that Alex Cobb can get you deep into ball games. Jake Faria has already shown that. His starting point at this juncture is 6 innings, and then he goes on from there. When you can do that, the pressure you take off the bullpen, you keep them fresh, they're going to be more effective. And that's one of the ways you can also help that bullpen. You add a guy like Boxberger, and you also cut down their innings.
Yeah, and that's especially true as you get to the All-Star break and start heading into the proverbial second half of the season. A little bit past that right now, but to have a bullpen start the second half fresh, very important. Line drive, base hit the other way. Souza bobbles as he tries to backhand, but recovers in time. And Ramirez will hang on at first base.
You know, it's not often that we see guys get on top of an Odorizzi fastball. Not to say that they don't hit him, but usually it's because Jake misses his location. This ball is up. It's up and away, not up and in. But look how Hanley Ramirez is able to get out in front on that pitch up in the zone and line it into right field. That's a nice job of getting up there. And a lot of times that pitch right there is a pop-up.
Jackie Bradley Jr., the center fielder, in the batter's box right now. Bradley went 0 for 4 last night, and he continues to have trouble against Rays pitching. He's been hot after a slow start overall. He got hot and was hitting 280, over 280 and 280 right now when he came in. Last night came in hitting 285, went 0 for 4. So he's at 280 now.
And really the 0 for 4 is not very surprising, because we saw those numbers coming into last night's game. In his career against the Rays, he was hitting 151. So we hear about all these hot streaks. We've really yet to see one from Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah, the Rays are fine with that. It's fouled back. 1-2. The cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Twist Coors Light. Well, here's exactly what we're talking about. You look at his numbers against the rest of the major leagues, they're pretty good. Against the Rays, I mean, drastic difference between the two.
I mean, in average runners in scoring position, I mean, how about an on base at 231 right down the line? I mean, Jackie Bradley Jr. has just not been able to figure out this Rays pitching staff. And you know, not to single out Jackie Bradley Jr., there's a number of hitters who have a hard time figuring out this Rays pitching staff, but pretty drastic the difference.
close there, leans him back. 2-2.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him the changeup, down and away.
Vasquez, the catcher, is on deck. And a foul ball, just a little piece of that one. Ramos could not hang on. A foul ball, and the count remains 2-2.
Well, the right idea. You back him off with that fastball, come with the changeup. If that pitch has just a little bit more finish at the end, he would get the swing and a miss strikeout. But it stayed up just enough that Bradley Jr. is able to spoil it. And now back to the drawing board you go. He'll be coming right back in.
And he misses. The count is now full. Oh, he got it. How about that with that curveball? We see him so often get strike one with that. A 3-2 curveball.
Yeah, that is not a put away pitch for Jake Odorizzi. And watch Jackie Bradley Jr. swing. So disjointed and just out of rhythm. He wasn't expecting it either. I think Jake, well, he struck out everybody in the building outside of himself and Wilson Ramos.
It's Christian Vasquez takes a fastball upstairs. So after 4 consecutive first pitch strikes, he's fallen behind the next 3 hitters. And is off the plate wide. Odorizzi for the year has averaged a little over 18 pitches per inning, 18.2. That's almost 1 pitch more per inning than he averaged last year. And he's behind Vasquez 3-0. The strike, 3-1. Vasquez a .280 hitter right now. Lifts it to the right side, foul. Morrison is there and he makes the catch. No runs ahead. And 1 man left. Wilson Ramos will lead off the bottom of the second. to lead it off. He said he's feeling better at the plate after getting a few at bats. Well, I don't know if you could be any better than this. What a blast last night off the left-hander Chris Sale. He had a double to drive in a run, and then that 2-run home run in the 6th inning. You see him behind the plate and at the plate. The Rays are very happy right now.
He brings a little bit of everything. The ability to stick to a game plan and call a game. We've seen how good he is at blocking pitches, good catch and throw. Has a tremendous amount of power. In fact, he's got 3 home runs in his last 4 games and starting to show a lot better balance and rhythm at the plate. He works to get his timing back here at the big league level, and things are coming along quite well, as you see those last 4 games. Very productive.
It's 2-1. Ramos getting his first look at Pomeranz. You saw Brad Miller there. He'll be up next. And it's 3-1. And there's ball 4. Rays have a base runner to open the inning. Well, Brad Miller activated from the disabled list. Tim Beckham goes on the list with that left ankle injury. Takes with him 11 home runs and a .274 average. And Kevin Cash kind of philosophical about it, knowing that he'll get a few days off of the All-Star break here. And he's been a contributor to this club. Shortstop, now second base, and here's Miller just back. And he was swinging the bat well in some rehab assignments in the minor leagues. Coming off 30 home runs a year ago.
Yeah, he hit the ball so hard last year, and his power was not limited to right field. You saw it to left field, straightaway center, strong guy. The big swing.
That's a base hit headed for the corner. Extra bases. Ramos will go to third. Miller into second. And in Brad Miller's first at bat back, a 2-base hit up the left field line. An instant threat for the Rays.
And the Rays with an opportunity right away because of the leadoff walk to Ramos. Try to go up and away, and Brad Miller stays right on top of that pitch and just laces it. No chance for anybody to make a play there. Down into the corner, and the chance to take an early lead once again for the Rays. Welcome back.
Well, he was swinging the bat well and growing a beard all at the same time.
Yeah, he's not kidding around with that beard anymore. It used to be like the 5 o'clock shadow, and now he's going to go grizzly on us.
Here's Trevor Plouffe. And that's a strike. Plouffe with 8 home runs total with Oakland and the Rays. Foul ball straight back, and that's going to be out of play. 2. A fastball there and took a pretty good cut.
And that fastball up, you start to think about, Drew Pomeranz right now needs a strikeout, needs it badly. And strikeout pitch here would be either a fastball a little further up in the zone, but you think of getting that swing and you think about dropping a curveball in there a little bit short.
And he does come with that pitch, and it's fouled away up the right side.
He didn't stop short with it. He left that ball up, and Plouffe is able to fight it off, foul it off. And now you force Pomeranz maybe in a different direction.
stopping short was somebody else's move anyway. So we'll see what he does with this 0-2 pitch. And a cut and a miss fastball. Pomerantz, after the breaking ball, came mid-90s with the hard stuff.
How about that? Reached back for a little bit there, and he kept it close to Plouffe. So you make it even a harder pitch because you've got to get it started even earlier to get the barrel to it. And he's able to just beat him up and in. It's a good pitch there by Drew Pomerantz in a big spot.
Well, here's Malik Smith. Hitting .333. Getting a look at the lefty. And he shows the bunt and takes the pitch down. Vasquez there to keep it in front of him.
Something that you always have to worry about with Malik Smith is dropping that bunt down.
Well, he works at that. He's been out early each of the last 2 days since the Rays have come home, and working, trying to refine his bunting skills even more.
He can push and drag, bunt for hits, sacrifice bunt, safety squeeze.
And there's a bunt right side. Now throw back to third, and Ramos finds himself tagged out, and Miller is in a rundown, and he is out. Malik Smith bunts his way on, and the Red Sox turn it into a double play. Well, how about that? Well, you talk about getting out of a spot. 1 out, second and third, and Pomerantz watches his teammates get 2 on the bunt. You're not going to see this very often. No score through 2.
Went awry. Malik Smith gets the bunt down. Mitch Moreland will see Wilson Ramos come about a third of the way down the line, stop and head back to third. So he instinctively throws that ball to third. Well, Brad Miller had thought that Wilson Ramos had committed to the plate, so he had committed to third base. And when he sees Ramos coming back to the bag, he's got to head back towards second. By then it's too late, and Malik Smith, who got the bunt down, Red Sox turn it into 2 outs in the end of the inning.
Well, here's Len taking a pitch, so it went 3-5, 6-5 on that bunt that resulted in a double play and got the Red Sox out of trouble. Sue Len fouls it out of play. Now 1-1. So a big missed opportunity for the Rays in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, the leadoff walk followed up by the double. And you're thinking the Rays were in good shape. Pomerantz makes some tough pitches to Trevor Plouffe. And then the Rays get caught on the base paths, giving away 2 outs.
And a base hit struck through the middle. Lynn is aboard. Well, Lynn was on twice last night, a couple of walks, and has a base hit his first time up.
Well, at least they made him earn it. Last night, a hard time throwing strikes to him early in his ABs. That's the type of hitter he is. You know, not a big guy, and this team in general, you know, last in the American League in home runs. It's about moving the baseball. They avoid the strikeout. They'll work some walks. And they have a leadoff runner here.
There's a bunt by Marrero, and a throw's going to be to first.
How about that? How about Wilson Ramos? He set his body up as if he was gonna throw that ball to second, and at the last minute thought better of it and threw it to first with really not even changing his mechanics. He wants that runner at second base, and he's gonna go there. No, and then goes right over to first base. He looked off the safety and hit the guy coming out of the backfield.
I like the way he was thinking, though.
He was. Well, you could see it just the way that he came out of his crouch aggressively, thinking about cutting down the leadoff man.
Mookie Betts. Pitch is a strike. So now the Red Sox have a scoring opportunity. Drives it into deep center field. Smith going back to the track. It's going to be off the wall. Lynn will score, and Betts is in with a double. The Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. So the Rays miss an opportunity, and Boston jumps right back here in the third to take the lead.
Well, Mookie Betts, who had been awfully quiet his last few games, gets a fastball here out over just above the belt. He's able to get to it. You see how that swing has some moving parts to it. They were all in line right there. That ball almost got out. It's off the wall about a third of the way up.
Well, he leads the league in doubles. That's his 29th of the year. Benintendi takes a pitch down. So another man in scoring position with 1 out. Betts out there. Benintendi with 50 runs batted in on the year. So Betts 2 up on Lowry and Ramirez, Oakland and Cleveland. There's a base hit out of Miller's reach into right. Runner's going to try to score. The throw's not in time. Betts crosses the plate. Benintendi held at first, and it's 2-0 Boston.
Well, this is how they score runs. You know, the sacrifice bunt, get a guy into scoring position. We talked about how good they've been with runners in scoring position. Here's a changeup that doesn't have that bite at the end. Changes speed, yes, but doesn't have that down action. And Benintendi's able to hit it hard enough into the hole to get it by a diving Brad Miller. And here comes Mookie Betts. But this is a typical Boston inning right here.
Dustin Pedroia. Pitch out, nothing doing. Thinking Benintendi, who has 9 steals this year, might be running.
It's the 3 Bs. Benintendi, Bogarts, and Betts. Those are your top 3 base stealers.
And a long one to left. That ball is gone. Well, it's happened quickly. A 2-run home run by Pedroia, and Boston suddenly out in front, 4-0. 19th home run given up by Odorizzi this year. And a little question about that one.
But that's the cut fastball, and it kind of backed up on him. Did not have any movement. You could even see the way that Ramos was going back to catch it. And Dustin Pedroia is right down and into it. Recognized that pitch and then went into launch mode. That is not typical of the Red Sox. The home run ball, but they'll take it.
A big cut and a miss by Moreland. Well, you look at these pitches. The double to Betts was a fastball not as high as he wanted to be. And then the changeup, the split, not as low as he would want it to be. And then the cutter that backed up. And the Red Sox taking full advantage of that. Fly ball into left. Dickerson toward the line is there to make the catch. So Odorizzi allowing a home run in 13 consecutive starts. 2 more than Wilson Alvarez, who used to hold that mark. Two gone in this 4-run inning. And here is Hanley Ramirez. Pitch is a ball. And when you look at where the RBIs come from in this inning, Betts, Benintendi, and Pedroia, those really have been the clutch bats in this Boston lineup. Coming in, Betts was hitting .388 with men in scoring position. Benintendi .358 and Pedroia .358. So you make a mistake to those guys, pretty good chance you'll pay for it.
This as a team, they're third. They were third in the American League, and batting average with runners in scoring position have moved up a couple of clicks since then. They give themselves a lot of opportunities because of the doubles they hit, the bases that they steal, the walks that they take.
It's 2-2. Four runs, 4 hits in the inning. Upstairs, boy, how quickly a game can turn. The Rays had men at second and third with nobody out, and then the strikeout, and then the bunt that turned into losing both base runners. And a quick strike by Boston. 4 hits, 4 runs. Out to second base. Miller with the throw to first. 7 men come to the plate. 4 score. Nobody left. 4-0 Boston. MLB.com at bat is your #1 mobile app for live Rays baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Rays home screen icons and app features, as well as live game video highlights, StatCast, and a whole lot more. Download MLB.com at bat. Rays have some catching up to do. They'll send Danny Echeverria to the plate to open the bottom of the third. Which is a strike.
Oh, the Rays here look to answer and look to send a message to Drew Pomeranz and the Boston Red Sox that they are not going anywhere. And
the ground ball to short. Lynn up with it. Throw to first in time. One gone.
This group has shown itself to be resilient all season long. We've talked about an awful lot about the losses that the Rays have had after they've blown leads, but they've got a lot of comeback wins too. This team never gives up, and they never start to give away at bats. Continue to fight and battle till the very end, and that's really all you can ask for. Kevin Cash start to take on the personality traits of your manager and the leaders on your team.
Strike to Souza Jr. That's about as low as we've seen Niels go with calling a strike.
But see, the whole ball was in the zone. Yep. And that's the way it has to be. And even a little bit, there's a seam outside of the zone, Dwayne. That ball is, well, it's going to be a ball.
1-1. Ground ball scoop down at third. Marrero, nice pickup there, in and to his left on the scoop, and he throws out Souza Jr.
And he didn't have a lot of time to react, Dwayne. And that's what, you know, I know from our vantage point, even more impressive, because he was in there right at the cut of the grass. And boy, you got to go laterally and then make that short scoop. A short hop right there, glove side. And Marrero makes it look pretty easy. Anything but.
Corey Dickerson swings through it. Strike one.
Didn't like the way that swing felt.
An 0-1 count on Corey Dickerson. It's 1-1. Strike called.
Well, that's that cutter we were talking about. He's been heavy with the fastball and the curveball, but now as you start to move through the lineup a second time, you see the cutter there. That ball looked to be off the plate, still gets the call.
And a foul tip strikeout retires the side. 1-2-3 go the Rays. When we come back, Rich Hollenberg will be chatting with Brendan McKay, the Rays' #1 pick.
Top of the program, we told you that Chris Archer was the latest Ray to be named to the All-Star game. They're hoping this young man is going to be named to many All-Star games in a Rays uniform. Top pick in the draft for this year for the Tampa Bay Rays, Brendan McKay, inside Tropicana Field. What's it like taking in your first Rays game?
It's pretty neat. I've never been inside a dome stadium, so to see what it's like in here and see the atmosphere, it's awesome. And I got to go inside the clubhouse, see what that's like, and the different cultures inside there, the different interactions between people. It's kind of like what I see in college, but on a different scale. You know, you got Latino, American, just different cultures, and they all mix very well together and have fun.
You said you got to go in the clubhouse. I'm assuming you met some people. Any interactions stand out that you could share with us?
Yeah, I got to meet Evan Longoria on the field, a couple other guys. I think Steven Souza, Stephen Vogt maybe, but just to see those guys and have them talk to me and be so open and not almost like what we call big leaguer, where they kind of just say hi and then they go off and do their own thing. But they all kind of stood there and had a good conversation with me.
Talking to Brendan McKay, the first pick in the draft for the Rays, #4 overall. You won the John Olerud Award 3 times in your Louisville Cardinal career. That's the two-way player of the year. And one of the reasons you were glad to be drafted by the Rays is they're open to you pitching and hitting, playing first base, a little DH. What's the plan right now as you head down to Hudson Valley and play for the Renegades to start out?
As of right now, I still got a couple more bullpens to throw just to get back in the swing of things with having so much time off in between playing in the College World Series and then leading up to now where I've gotten back into throwing and everything. But I think we've come to a plan of playing the field about 4 or 5 days a week, throwing 1 day a week, and then having one off day where you throw your bullpen and then just take that whole day off with the effort that you put in, throwing a lot of pitches and using your arm a lot. Just take that whole day off and give your body a break.
All right, Brendan McKay, the Boston Red Sox just hit another solo home run. We're going to need some McKay karma coming up in this game.
Yeah, I'm not good on TV or broadcast, so I don't know why they did that. They should have done me when we're playing offense, maybe. So,
Brendan McKay, good luck to you. Great meeting you, and I'm sure it's going to be the first of many interviews you'll be doing with the Rays.
Thank you.
Take care. Dwayne, BA, back to you.
Yeah, we like him already.
I love the way you wrapped that interview up.
Isn't it great? I know. I like
good.
that. That's some nice presence right there. So, Vasquez a strike. Home run here by Bradley Jr. And Vasquez fouls this one out of play. 0-2. Well, he has a pretty good idea and had a great career at Louisville.
Highly decorated. I mean, up and down the Dick Hauser Trophy in 2017. How about the 3 consecutive John Olerud Awards? Golden Spikes Award winner. I love the fact that the Rays are going to give him that opportunity to do both, play in the field, hit and pitch. And it was interesting the way that he described the schedule. So you're going to play for 5 days, you're going to pitch, you got your bullpen day, and on that day, because you do exert some effort down there and getting ready to pitch, you just take that whole day off.
Yeah, and his argument's pretty interesting about that. I think the first argument you hear against it, Vasquez is out on strikes, is that, well, if you concentrate on 2 areas, then maybe you're taking away a little from each, and you're not going to realize the full potential on one side of the ball or the other. But he says, wait a minute, I have an opportunity to contribute on both sides. So it's like double the effect of a player on your team, and they've got a schedule worked out. So they're going to give it a shot.
Well,
see what happens.
And this is also what the Rays have going in their favor. It's not a full season. He's going to go down to Hudson Valley and play there for a couple of months, and then it's going to be wrapped up for him. So you're going to get a feel for the professional game, being able to do all of that stuff and see how much work you're able to put in both areas. And at the end of the day, these situations will work themselves out. Yeah, they will work themselves out one way or the other, and you'll either gravitate towards pitching, gravitate towards position player and hitter, or maybe you see that it can, both of them can work, and the truth will be in the results. I mean, period.
Yeah, and this is right down the Rays' alley.
Oh,
thinking outside the box. Let's give this a shot and push the envelope a little bit. So he's in the perfect environment, the perfect organization to do that.
Sure.
And if it can work, you know, we talked about it, you know, a week or two ago. Statistically speaking, it hasn't worked. But if it can work, he's in an environment and is starting with an approach that would contribute to it working out. So we'll see.
Yeah, there are people that in the middle of the night in this organization that dream of Brandon coming in off of a position to come in and get a big out against a tough lefty, to then just go right back to said position.
Yeah, and then in the bottom of the inning, hit a home run to win it.
No, this dream has happened.
Swing and a miss. Lynn is out of there. Back-to-back strikeouts after the home run by Bradley Jr.
Just power that fastball. There's absolutely nothing fancy about that. Challenge him. Jumps right over the swing.
Devin Marrero. Fouling a first pitch fastball back. 4 runs in the third, another run in the fourth. You know, I was thinking a little bit more about the McKay situation there in the Rays. You know, I mean, history tells you that it's a long shot, and the Rays go, well, so what? They're not interested in history. They're interested in what can happen now and what can happen in the future. Marrero singles into right.
You know,
that's really the way they think.
Yeah. Well, listen, you look at the way the game, or I look at the way that the game has changed just since I stopped playing. I mean, it's a different ball game now. You think about the analytics and the metrics and the thinking outside the box. You know, it used to be that the Rays really were leaders in that, you know, in that facet of the game, but more and more other teams jumping on, and you know, it's like an arms race to try to get more information, better information, maybe pull back a little bit.
Yeah, figure out what information not to pay all that attention to.
Absolutely.
Spend all your time there. Be selective about what you're doing.
That's what, like we were talking about, the challenge of Jim Hickey with all of the information that's available out there to pitchers against hitters. You've got to be able to, you know, decide how much to give to each guy. You know, you've got to know your pitchers. How much is going to be too much? What guy can handle a little bit more?
Yeah, because too much can be too heavy a load to digest. And if you have all of that, then you have to think there's some superfluous information in there that you don't even need.
You take the rhythm out of the game. You make these players into robots.
3-1.
Well, guys just don't play free and easy. There's too much going on in the mind. You lose the feel of the game.
Takes the count full. Rizzi touch for the double, the RBI double by Betts in the third. The fastball that was just not quite where Rizzi wanted it to be. Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled outside the third. Marrero will circle back to first. Runner goes, 3-2, pop into short center. Out from second is Miller, and he makes the catch. A run scores on the Bradley Jr. home run, 5-0 Boston. leadoff homer in the top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Evan Longoria will lead off. Longoria, Morrison, and Ramos. Evan 0 for 1, lifted a fly ball to right. His first time up. And there's a strike catching the corner. The breaking ball. Fastball in. Rays had a 2nd and 3rd situation, nobody out in the 2nd, and saw that one fall apart. Now trying to build something here with Longoria leading off the 4th against Pomeranz.
And this is what you don't want to see. Drew Pomeranz getting into a rhythm. You know, curveball, strike 1, up and in. Then he goes back away with the heater.
Ground ball toward the middle, but to his left, Lynn, the shortstop, makes the play. 1 gone.
Well, Lynn forced out there tonight again at shortstop. Xander Bogaerts, who was hitting the hand last night, said that it was more sore than he had anticipated, so he's going to be off here again tonight. The pitch from Jake Faria runs up and in, catches him right on the wrist of that right throwing hand. That's a nasty place to get hit, and very fortunate that it came back that the x-rays were negative, because so often you see a guy get hit in that area and they don't come back that way. So he's got that wrapped up pretty good.
Yeah, that's down there in that hamate bone area, and that it'll take you a while to come back from that.
You wonder if you'll see him again in this series with the All-Star break coming up.
Surprised.
You know, that's right. You give him these 3 days, you give him 4 over the break. That's a full week of rest on that right wrist. Yeah, I'd be shocked if we saw him play in this series, but we'll see.
Morrison swings through it. It's 2-1. Morrison came into this game off a very good night last night, and 2 for 8 in his career against this left-hander Pomeranz. Three balls and a strike. Full count. Ramos will be next with 1 out. Full count on Morrison. It's out of play. Rays took the first game last night 4-1. They're down by 5 in the 4th inning tonight. 4-run third by Boston. Ramos a big part of last night's Rays win. Now the 3-2 to Morrison, and he draws the walk. So the Rays draw their 3rd walk off the lefty. Before the first swing, make your picks for the T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge. With a little luck, you and 3 friends may be going to the 2017 World Series thanks to T-Mobile. Make your picks at MLB.com/bracket challenge. Wilson Ramos. Ball inside. A shot to center field. Boy, he gets some carry on those blasts. That'll one-hop the wall. Morrison's going to be waved around. A double for Ramos, and the throw is cut off. The Rays get on the board. Well, when Ramos hits a liner, it goes. Picks up a double there and another run batted in. It's 10th now.
Finally able to cash in on a walk. Drew Pomeranz was his third of the game. And at some point, you got to put it on the board. And Wilson Ramos talked about being balanced at the plate and in good rhythm. And you're right, Dwayne, when he makes contact, he weighs 260 pounds and he's got a quick bat. So he gets some thump into that swing, and that ball just shoots off the wall in center field. And here comes Morrison all the way around, and his cardio in for the night.
Brad Miller, he doubled to set up the threat in the second. That's a base hit into right field. Ramos rounding third. They're going to wave him home, and the Rays pick up 2. Double by Ramos to get 1 run home. A single by Miller to get Ramos across the plate. And Brad Miller, just off the DL, is 2 for 2.
And how about that? Using the left field line and then shooting the ball into right field. This is off the breaking ball, and he pulls it with authority in the hole. And this is all that the Rays needed. We talked about their resilience, that they were not going to give away at bats. And by the way, they still, this is a team that has a lot of confidence off of Drew Pomeranz. For the success that they've already had against him this season, you knew that they were going to get some opportunities. They've been able to cash them in, and they creep closer.
Trevor Plouffe.
That that helmet of Brad Miller. Take another peek at that at some point. He's gone to town on it.
It's a ball to Plouffe. Want to know, how about that?
You can barely see the
yeah, that's the
logo.
The opaque look on the logo.
He's gone all out with the beard and all out with the pine tar in the return. What's paid off? 2 for 2.
Plouffe ahead, 2-0 in the count. Well, the Rays showing they can come back. Now 3-0.
And now pitching around the zone, starting to nibble to Logan Morrison, lost him. Next couple of hitters, hard hit balls, and now starts to nibble again. This is how the Rays will get back into this game.
This is strike 3-1. Morrison worked Pomeranz for the walk, scored on the Ramos double. Ramos scored on the base hit by Miller. And on the corner and down for a strike. 3-2.
Now that's one of those pitches that has not been a strike here tonight.
Now that's what Plouffe is thinking.
Yeah. That's all you ask for is consistency.
It's popped up, right side, foul, and will be out of play. about that catch? Jersey and a hat and a glove.
Yeah, well, that's coming to play.
Full count. Here it is. And a long one. I mean, a long one. It's well foul. But that one up in the ring territory. Boy, did he get around on that one.
Remember the first at bat, Wayne? He struck out on a fastball in, up and in at 95 miles an hour. And trust me, he's thinking right along those same lines. He was ready for that one.
And a liner into left field. That's in there for a base hit. Miller will turn second and hold. 4 consecutive base runners for the Rays as Plouffe lands a solid single into left.
I'm not sure what the situation with the Boston bullpen is, but if I'm John Farrell, I'm starting to think about getting some action, some stirring down there. The Rays are all over here. Drew Pomerantz, second time through the lineup, not missing anything right now.
Carl Willis, the pitching coach, out there to spend some time with his left-hander.
Well, we've seen the cutter here a few times, and I think he's gotten one strike call with it. The rest of them have been kind of throwaway type pitches. So he's trying to do all of this with fastball, curveball, and yet if you're going to do that, your command has to be impeccable. You can't miss with the heater. You got to be able to put that pitch wherever you want it, and so far that's not been the case. So now that the Rays have gotten a second look at him and have had success off him in the past, the swings have gotten much better and the contact much harder.
Well, Malik Smith 0 for 1, technically a fielder's choice, his first time up on that bunt attempt.
Oh, he's got that open hole too, with Lynn holding on Brad Miller wide open on the left side to punch one through.
He waits on that pitch and takes it for a ball.
Well, having that runner out there at second base really opens things up for Malik Smith, where Devin Marrero is right here, and you've got Lynn keeping Brad Miller close, and you start thinking about that gap right there, especially if they're going to continue to pitch him away.
And he's capable of shooting one through there, and was thinking about it right there.
He was. He let that ball travel into the zone and was absolutely trying to slap that ball into left field. Watch how long he lets this ball go, and then right there goes out late to try to slap it the other way.
He is 9 of 24 against left-handed pitching. And misses that one. So this has been on his mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's right out there in front of him.
Yep.
And we saw it last night off Chris Sale. Alex Smith is not afraid to go that way, and has had a lot of success going that way.
Now he's behind Pomerantz. Miller at second, Plouffe at first. Upstairs. Put away. 2-2. Morrison and Ramos have scored. Miller's at second, Plouffe at first. And a liner into right, but that ball's going to hang up. And now a throw back to second, and boy, the Rays almost lost another base runner. Miller found himself out there between second and third and scrambling to get back. And had they been able to hang on to that throw, the Red Sox would have gotten a double play.
That would have been an inning's worth of outs made on the bases. We're in the fourth. And really it should have been. This ball right up here for Betts to handle. Brett Miller doesn't get a very good read on it. And it's a short throw, and he steps into it. It's wide and low, and Lynn is not able to scoop it. But this absolutely should have been an inning-ending double play. That was not made. Gives the Rays another chance with that runner out in scoring position.
Well, let's see if the Rays can make them pay. Here's Adeiny Echeverria up here with Miller at second still, Plouffe at first. He fouls it right back, strike one.
Well, there was one of the cutters running in. That's the pitch that Drew Pomerantz trying to use as that third option.
One ball, one strike. And this one off the glove, off the mitt of Vasquez, and the Rays are going to have both men now in scoring position as they move up.
Well, now you got a chance to really make this thing interesting. Boy, a curveball that Christian Vasquez, I don't know if he got crossed up, but started to come out of the stance and then reaches back forward. It's off the glove.
It's a pass ball. Fill your Sunday with baseball and country music. Watch as the Rays take on the Red Sox this Sunday and stay after the game for the post-game concert by American Idol finalist Lauren Elena. Visit RaysBaseball.com today. A 2-1 count on Echeverria with 2 men in scoring position now. He sends a fly ball to center. Bradley Jr. is there to make the catch. And the Rays score 2 and lead 2. They trail by 3. A 5-2 game. Today's jackpot Brought to you by the Florida Lottery, and among American League rookie hitters, Aaron Judge not only leads the rookie American League hitters, but the American League period, followed by this young man, Andrew Benintendi. Judge with 65 and Benintendi with 51. Some good young hitters on that list. And here's Benintendi, who drove in a run in the third. He'll be followed by Pedroia and Moreland. This pitch is outside.
Well, this is where you start thinking about winning ugly. And for Jake Odorizzi, he's given up 5 runs so far, but you get a shutdown inning here, let your offense go back to work. You're going to start out at the top of that lineup against Pomerantz for the 3rd time.
Three and nothing.
This is where you realize your line at the end of the game is not going to be what you want it to be, but this is where you still have to compete, and Jake Odorizzi will do just that.
3-1. And just does find the zone. Full count. A popper on the left side. Plouffe makes the call for it, and he's got it.
That is a big, big comeback, and big out there for Odorizzi. Benintendi right up there at the top of the order, falling behind 3-0. And coming back and getting him on a field pop-up.
Want to know the count to Pedroia. The 2-run home run in the 3rd, and punches a base hit into center field. He'll make the turn, looking out there, and stop there at first. Yeah, with Pedroia, as soon as he has a base hit, he's looking for 2, and you'd better field the ball cleanly.
Yeah, and I thought that was one where he may challenge Mallix, because Mallix was shading him towards right center, had a long way to run, and fielded that ball deep out there in the outfield. And watch where he starts. Watch where the ball goes. And I thought right there, you're thinking, okay, that's 2. He's not cutting that ball off, or at least closing ground towards the infield. And I thought that Pedroia may challenge him there, but didn't. We see that more and more because of the different setups defensively, and these hitters always looking, especially the guys that have play with a lot of effort. You got to force them to stay at first base. I think Kevin Kiermaier.
2-0 the count to Moreland. A couple of pitches away. Now it's 3-0. He's behind again. Worked his way back against Benintendi and got him on a pop to 3rd. Now he's behind Moreland. Ramirez on deck. One now.
Okay. I'll take it.
Take your pick.
I'll take it.
Foul ball right back. The count is full. Yeah, I was with you wondering about that, but
the ball looked to be clearly off the plate and no one flinched. I thought, well,
and all of those pitches appeared to be out of the zone.
Well out.
Yeah.
Well, listen, now you got a chance here. Full count.
So it's 3-2, and that's ball 4. Pedroia will head to second base. Moreland draws the walk. The first walk given up by Odorizzi.
There's your strike, Dwayne. Your strike was the first pitch of the AB right there. Jerry Meals been tough to follow.
Yep.
At times.
Hanley Ramirez.
Lock it in.
Ball, no strikes. Big cut. Surprised he didn't lose that helmet.
We've seen it before, and he was fooled there by the changeup that's going to be coming in, and he turns it loose. Ooh, hanging on by a thread, hanging on by an ear flap. Got tangled up in the hair.
A ball, 2 strike count. Jake closing in on 100 pitches. 1 out, 2 men on here in the top half of the 5th. Jim Hickey on the bullpen phone. Two balls, 2 strikes.
That has been a pitch that Ramirez here in this series has not recognized very well. That little slider moving down and away is continually pulled off of it. You just wonder if Odorizzi doesn't go right back to it.
And the count's going to be full.
Went back with the changeup, and this time Ramirez able to hold up.
Chase Whitley up in the bullpen now for the Rays. Two outs. This is pitch number 100 about to be made. And that's close, but ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Pedroia goes to third, Moreland to second, and Ramirez takes over at first.
That changeup, and Jerry Meals not calling it a strike. Hanley Ramirez not biting. That was a pitch that he swung and missed at earlier in the at-bat. And Jim Hickey headed to the mound. Boston looking to answer here, and they've been able to successfully run Odorizzi's pitch count sky high, 100 at this point, just 4 1/3 in.
Jackie Bradley Jr. will be the hitter. He homered to left field on a fastball back in the 4th inning.
Well, you're thinking, what can I do to get a ground ball here? And Jake doesn't get many of them, but he's been known to be able to go get one when he needs one, and he desperately needs one now.
Well, a big spot here. The Rays put 2 on the board in the 4th to trim the deficit down to 3. And now Bradley Jr. is the hitter. That pitch stays off the plate. 1-0. Ramirez at first, Moreland at second, Pedroia at third. And a high fly ball down the right field line. That is a foul ball. He golfed that one and pulled it foul. The other way in the 4th inning. I was scared there, but foul. Two balls and a strike. Eight hits, 5 runs so far for Boston, and they've loaded the bases in the 5th. And Jackie Bradley Jr. is now way up in the count. Home a run. 3 consecutive walks. Pedroia crosses the plate, and that's going to be it for Jake Odorizzi with a bases loaded walk. It's now a 6-2 ball game, and we're going to have a call to the bullpen brought to you by the Florida Lottery. Lottery presents the Family of the Week for Life Scratch-Offs with a top prize of $5,000 a week every week for the rest of your life. The longer you live, the more you keep winning. That's Winfinity. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Chase Whitley will be the new pitcher, and he inherits A bases loaded situation. He's inherited 15 runners this year and allowed only 1 to score. He has a challenge in front of him now, trying to keep it a 4-run ball game.
You're thinking once again too, how do you get the ground ball? The Rays are going to play back at double play depth. Christian Vasquez at the plate. Now fresh arm and Chase Whitley out there, and you do not want to allow the Red Sox any more breathing room. Already at 4.
Vasquez at the plate. The first pitch is a strike.
Well, for Jake Odorizzi, that search for efficiency continues. Just lost feel of the strike zone here at the end.
Swing and a miss.
Well, you know what you wonder is the loss of the strike zone. Is it a physical issue, or does it become a mental issue? Is it a confidence issue where you find yourself picking, or mechanically are you a little bit off?
And all of that would be a fair question.
Well, that's what you'll spend the next couple of days trying to figure out before you're back at it your next time through. And obviously for Jake, that'll be after the All-Star break. And it actually could be a combination of both.
Little ground ball right side. Out at second. There'll be no throw to first. One ball hit softly. So Moreland crosses the plate. Ramirez goes to third. Vasquez will get a run batted in as Bradley is forced at second. And it once again is a 5-run game.
That got the ground ball that he wanted, but with him reaching for it, he doesn't hit it very hard. Pushes Logan Morrison well off the bag to be able to get that ball to Echeverria, but no chance to get Vasquez on the other end. And you're right, Boston comes right back and answers. No shutdown inning, and that lead once again 5.
Here's Lynn, the shortstop. First and third now. 1-0. Out in front of the changeup.
Chase Whitley has a good one. That traditional circle change, but he still gets good finish on it because of his hand action out in front. Really rips right over the top of that baseball and maybe it'll bury it out of the zone.
1-2. For Boston, all charged to Odorizzi. Back into right. Souza Jr. on the run is there to make the catch in front of the track. Nice catch. And right. Boston adds 2. They lead 7-2.
G-Man Choi going to bring the rain right here in the 4th inning. A towering blast to right field. Yankees were trailing in this game. That would give them a 3-2 lead. And Dwayne, I mean, literally, he brought the rain. They are in a delay now.
That's some kind of power in more ways than one.
G-Man Choi kind of power. The Yankees right now trying to figure out where the Red Sox trying to figure out the 3rd base position. Yankees trying to figure out 1st base. And Choi getting some time there.
Well, the Rays have to go back to work. Bottom of the 5th inning. They got a couple in the 4th, but Boston answered with 2 in the top of the 5th. And the top of the order, Steven Souza Jr. hitting against Pomeranz. Going to be out of play. Souza made a nice catch on the ball hit by Lynn to end the 5th. They scored 2 runs with only a hit. 3 consecutive walks in the inning. And now it's 2-1.
Well, they're getting their 3rd look at Pomeranz. They've had success in the past. A feisty bunch, and you need a couple of base runners. You need some advantageous counts. Souza Jr. has one here.
Takes a rip and fouls it. Well, there's a good breakout. 3rd time through, over 300 against him. High chop. This is going to be trouble. And no throw. Base hit for Souza Jr. An infield hit on the chop to short.
Now you knew that was trouble as soon as it came off the bat. It didn't matter what Lynn or anybody else did. This ball is just in no man's land, and Souza Jr. gets out of the box as well as anybody from the right side. Good speed. And he is smelling hit.
Well, let's hit the Rays can make that the start of something. Corey Dickerson looking for his first hit. 0 for 2 tonight. Dickerson misses a fastball.
Pomeranz has been able to sneak that fastball by Corey Dickerson on a number of occasions here in this game, and we're just not used to seeing Corey swing and miss as much as he has. And that bat speed has been so impressive all season long. The hand-eye coordination.
And now it's 0-2. Nine-year-old left-hander Drew Pomeranz out of Collierville, Tennessee. Went to school at the University of Mississippi and has a 5-run lead right now. Missing too high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Of it, he's still alive, just enough.
He just continues to challenge him with the hard stuff. And you understand why too. He's had success with it.
miss. He went up with a fastball and strikes him out for the 3rd time tonight.
We've not seen that all season long. And Corey Dickerson, it was five or six straight fastballs. This one up around shoulder high and away. You know, Corey Dickerson will expand the zone, and he's usually able to fight those pitches off. Not that one.
Well, here's Evan Longoria, the designated hitter tonight. He's still trying to solve Pomeranz. Curveball was low. He checked 1-0. Evan 0 for 2 tonight and 1 of 13 in his career against Pomeranz. A high pop-up foul. Going to be out of play. The Rays had men at 2nd and 3rd in the 2nd inning, but let that opportunity get away. Put together an inning with 1 out in the 4th when they scored 2 and left 2 men in scoring position. 1 on, 1 out in the 5th. 1-1 the count to Evan Longoria. Two and 1. Ground ball, that's going to go through into left. 2 men on, 1 out in the 5th. Now we'll get down into the middle of the order.
Here come the Rays once again. Fastball there by Pomeranz, 2-seamer, and Evan Longoria. He's got good plate coverage, and he hits that ball hard enough. Two-way Lynn trying to get there, can't.
Well, the Rays may be down, but they're not going away.
Never. They really don't. I don't care what the deficit is, and it can be demoralizing. You know, you're down 5-0. Okay, 5-2, and we're threatening. That inning's over. Well, here comes Boston with 2 more. It's back up to 5 runs. Oh, they just don't quit.
Well, here's Logan Morrison. I mean, here's a guy with 24 home runs. He could hit 1 out, and suddenly it's 7-5. He takes ball 1.
Well, Pomeranz, the 3rd time through, you know he's going to be pitching very carefully, and so you got a chance to get a good count, eventually a good pitch.
He falls behind. 2 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Fastball out over the plate and up a bit, and Morrison was trying to make it a 2-run game.
That's all you're asking for. You get the 2-0 count. He's got to come over the plate. Logan Morrison got the pitch that you'd like. We'll still have a 2-1 count. I'd say Pomeranz has gotten more swings and misses by the left-handed hitters tonight in the Rays lineup than Chris Sale even close to got. In fact, they gave him trouble especially early in that game.
Morrison checks in time. 3-1.
And Jerry Meals and Drew Pomeranz is asking, you know, where is that pitch? Because Jerry Meals has been so inconsistent, especially on the pitch low in the strike zone. One time it's a strike, then it's not. Both hitters and pitchers having a hard time figuring it out.
Now 3-1. And that's a strike.
Logan Morrison's turn now.
So the count is full.
You could read Morrison's lips too. He said, he asked him, is that the very bottom? Well, nobody knows right now. It was on this pitch. May not be on the next one.
So the count is full with Longoria at first, Souza Jr. at second, 1 out. This could be a big pitch in this game here in the 5th. 3-2 on its way, and there is ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
Well, he continues to nibble.
Well, the bases are loaded, and guess who's coming up? Wilson Ramos. And a visit in order here. Carl Willis, the pitching coach, goes to the mound. So the Rays with the threat in the 5th. Watch the Rays defend the Trop against the Invaders of the North tomorrow when the Rays take on the Red Sox. And the first 15,000 fans take home their very own Evan Longoria Game of Thrones bobblehead. So be a part of the action. Visit RaysBaseball.com. Red Sox break up the conference. Ramos has walked and hit a line drive with something extra on it for a double in the 4th. Back into center field. Drove in a run. He eventually scored on a base hit by Brad Miller. And now the bases are loaded. Pomeranz a little over 90 pitches. Pitch is a strike.
They're juiced. Wilson Ramos, that first pitch from Pomeranz designed to keep Wilson from being able to get his arms extended. That fastball in, trying to send a message early.
And a line drive, low hop, 1 short hop, and they're going to get a double play. The quick short hop on the low liner down to 3rd. And the Red Sox on a hard hit ball get a 5-4-3 double play started by Marrero at 3rd. Pedroia in the middle, and we're through 5. 7-2 Boston. Price becoming the third pitcher in franchise history to throw a 9-inning complete game on fewer than 100 pitches. 98 pitches to go the distance, giving up a run on 8 hits, defeating the White Sox. We'll see Price against Archer on Sunday, and here tomorrow, Rick Porcello against Alex Cobb. So great pitching matchups to come in this series. Chase Whitley in relief tonight will open the 6th. Devin Marrero, the number 9 hitter, takes the ball. Well, the Rays had a major threat there in the 5th, and a hard hit low liner on the short hop to third off the bat of Ramos started the inning-ending double play.
And that's disheartening.
Yep, that's tough.
It really is, because it feels like at different times here in this ball game that the Rays have had Pomeranz on the ropes, and he gets bailed out there. A hard hit ball once again by Ramos, and a heck of a backhanded scoop there by Marrero to get that thing started.
And he reaches out, singles into right, short right, one hop. Souza Jr. picks it up. Second hit for Marrero tonight.
Number 50, Mookie Betts.
Himself quite the ball game.
Leadoff man on. The third time in the last 4 innings for Boston. Mookie Betts. Betts double homer run in the 3rd, also scored. Ball 1. Rain delayed in New York, where the Yankees have a 3-2 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. The fly ball back into right. Souza Jr. is going to have room, making the catch, and back to first goes Marrero. Now Andrew Benintendi. One for 3 with a run batted in. Into center field, Elson Smith back to the track toward the deep corner. The triangle out there, and he makes the catch, running it down. And again, back to first goes Marrero. Fine running grab by Smith in center.
Yeah, you've got to navigate out there. You've got that little nook out there deep in center field. That ball well struck by Benintendi. Alex Smith, he's got tremendous speed, kind of shading that way, and gets a good jump. Eyes don't leave that baseball. Can't do that here. Well, you do at your own risk. Let's put it that way. We've seen Kiermaier at times turn his back on a ball, but you've got to be a pretty advanced defender to pull that here at Tropicana Field.
Dustin Pedroia. Strike on the outside corner. Fastball around 90.
Chase Whitley doesn't overpower you or overwhelm you with stuff, but he knows how to pitch, and he's another guy that'll move the ball around the zone and has a very good changeup. Can give the Rays multiple innings.
Runner goes, and the pitch is fouled.
Thank goodness, because did you see that
Yes.
jump that Marrero got on that delivery to home plate? He could have stolen that standing up. Boy, that was well timed and a really good jump. This team will run, you know, because of the loss of power. Yeah, you got to find different ways to score. I highlighted that coming into this game.
Yeah, and as it turns out, they've hit 2 home runs, and they have not been a home run hitting team. Last in the league in home runs.
When was the last time that a Boston Red Sox team was bringing up the rear?
You know, you just never think of them as being a stolen base oriented team, last in home runs.
And if you do, you're thinking about them bringing up the rear in the division, because that's just not who they are. Well, it is this year, and they're in first place.
Yeah, it's working out. They're in first. They're 4th in the league in runs scored, coming in with 1 more than the Rays. Rays running 5th. And that will take care of Pedroia. He's out on strikes. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up in a 7-2 game. Baseball's biggest stars take the field for the MLB All-Star Game July 11th only on Fox. Well, the Rays have made a couple charges here against the Boston Red Sox, but they trailed 7-2. Brad Miller 2 for 2, the double and an RBI single. Just off the disabled list and leading off the bottom of the 6th.
Took the fastball to left, pulled the curveball to right. He's come back a different man, Dwayne. Literally.
A different look. 2-0. Well, he was swinging the bat very well at Durham. And so the Rays feel that they've activated him while he's hot at the plate. That's always good timing. In more ways than one. 3-0 the count. And he walks Miller. Oh no! Oh, that's a strike. Oh my goodness!
Well,
it's 3-1.
Umpires can have difficult nights too.
Strike 2 on the corner.
Another heater. This one, even though you see Vasquez reaching for, that is a strike.
Fouls it out of play, so we'll see another 3-2 pitch. 100 pitches for Pomerantz, opening the 6th inning. Miller fouls it back. Fastball. Pitch upstairs, but close enough, you've got to swing.
Yeah, well, you can't take anything for granted now or assume anything.
And there is ball 4. Leadoff base on balls. Miller on for the 3rd time.
Well, he keeps trying to get the Rays back into this game. Again, picking around the zone, not attacking the zone. Another leadoff base runner. The problem is the Rays' time against him is running out.
Yep. 5 walks in 5 innings plus a hitter. And here's Trevor Plouffe.
Oh, El Dorado.
Embry up in the bullpen. And a fly ball back into left. Benintendi reaches up to make the catch. And back to first goes Miller. Well, a line drive off the bat of Trevor Plouffe. Benintendi caught up with it.
Yeah, he did. And I'll tell you, he had to get a good jump and then get that glove up there. See him leave his feet, make a fine running, jumping backhanded catch on that line drive by Plouffe, and that ball almost snuck out the top of that glove.
That's why you use that big glove in the outfield.
And how many times have we seen that ball? You know, if you don't get it into the pocket and it starts to roll up, sometimes it can be tough to keep in there.
Alex Smith takes the pitch. Ball 1.
Yeah, look at Pomerantz walking behind the mound, trying to regroup a little bit because he thought that was a strike. Fox Tracks thought it was a strike. I mean, it's right there.
It's fouled back.
Everybody guessing right now.
Miller walked. Line to left. 1-1 to count on Alex Smith. Fouls this one back. And you're going after those pitches. Never quite sure. Two and two. Echeverria is the on deck man. Rays and the Red Sox have battled to a 4-4 record in the season series. Coming in that season series, the Rays had outscored the Red Sox 42-31 and going 4-4 against them. Down tonight 7-2. And there's strike 3. Smith turns and walks away.
Now Pomerantz just buries that fastball right out there. Christian Vasquez, see how he's angled towards that outside corner. That helps with the pitch presentation and the fact that Pomerantz got it right to the center of his body. Jerry Meals then call that a strike.
Adeiny Echeverria is 0 for 2 tonight with a ground ball to short and a fly ball to center. Taps this one short, stop. Over to second for the force on the sliding Miller. We go to the 7th. It's 7-2 Boston.
Tropicana Field. Terry Francona, the manager of the Cleveland Indians, recovering tonight from a heart procedure today in Cleveland for an irregular heartbeat. Now, reports have him doing well, and he'll be back to manage Cleveland after the All-Star break, but he won't be on the bench as the AL All-Star Game manager, as Indians bench coach Brad Mills will handle that with help from Kevin Cash. Cash said he's glad his good friend's okay. They are very, very close, but he said he's disappointed he won't be managing in Miami because, according to Cash, I won't be able to second guess every move he makes standing behind him the entire game, guys.
Yeah, that's great. I love that humor between the two of them. Mitch Moreland leads off and takes the pitch down, and we certainly wish Terry Francona the very best. And you know, in that exchange between Francona and Kevin Cash, you get a great sense of what Terry Francona is like, and we certainly hope that he is back and ready to go full force after the All-Star break.
I wish him a speedy recovery. And in that relationship, you would better have two things: sense of humor
and ammunition.
Well, they're going to have plenty of that. You better have thick skin too.
Yeah,
that may be the most important one, because these guys they swing low.
There's a line drive, and it's right at Miller in short right field. Moreland victimized by the shift.
Clear-cut win for the shift right there. Is you take Brad Miller, you put him out there in shallow right field, and Mitch Moreland hits a line drive right to him.
The line drive. We had a shot of Kevin Cash walking in the dugout, and we're happy to see that. He made the pitching change.
Yeah.
The fractured ankle. Here's Ramirez. Well, Miller should have been right there again. So Ramirez has a base hit.
Yeah, see, this is where it gets low. A tribute to a legacy. And yeah, he really went there. Kept it up while he was throwing BP. Stayed up far too long. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Indians have to come here. And you know that he's got something planned for Francona. Was that in August?
We can't wait for that.
Yeah. And I think it's a 4-gamer too.
The Indians are here starting August 10th. That's a Thursday, and it will extend for 4.
Oh.
On 1 count. Chase Whitley on the hill for the Rays in relief of Jake Odorizzi. Jake gave up 7 runs on 8 hits and 4 1/3. In on Bradley Jr., who fouls it. Bradley with 2 runs batted in tonight, a solo home run to begin the 4th, and a bases loaded walk in the 5th inning. Tap down to first, foul. Tomorrow it will be Alex Cobb on the hill. Young man got the souvenir baseball on the foul ball, picked up by Morrison. Which is inside 2-2. Hot shot, look out. Foul ball up the right side. Count holds at 2-2. That's a cut and a miss to strike him out.
Well, that's that changeup we were referring to. And Chase Whitley's able to get the strong finish. He keeps great arm action on that pitch. And there's your traditional changeup grip. And look at that ball just start to work its way out of the strike zone, down and away. And Bradley Jr. just can't reach it. A+ pitch there by Chase.
Vasquez takes a strike. Ooh, look out. Butterfield quick on his feet there to get out of the way.
Nobody's safe.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. How about between the lines? Brian Butterfield was
a good guy right there.
He was. He was the third base coach for Buck Showalter when I was out in Arizona. And one of the best in the game.
Boy, does he know what he's doing?
Oh, knows what he's doing. Knows, delivery, keeps things light.
Yep.
Full of knowledge. Demands accountability. I mean, really, that's why he's a lifer.
And, if anybody's equipped to be a manager, you'd think he might be.
Yeah. Certainly been around a number of good ones. Great teacher.
That's the thing about this game, that you have a lot of those, and through the years have had guys who are just all over the game. Know how to teach it, nuances of the game, make you a better infielder, make you a better outfielder, good base runner, all of the little things that help.
I'm still waiting for him to give me the steal sign. Thought I had it a couple of different times. Turned out to not be the case.
Did he ask you what? Do you think you had to steal?
Well, I did steal second, make it over to third, and I'm like, what do you think about that? He goes, yeah, I actually never gave you the sign, but we'll talk about that later. And then it was the following season, I believe, same thing happened. Steal second, get over there. You got to like that one. Yeah, you still didn't have the sign right because I didn't give it to you. We'll talk about it after the game. Too funny.
Foul right back into the screen. 2 outs here with Ramirez at first. 1-2 count on Vasquez as Whitley tries to get him to end it. And we'll take care of him. Swinging over that one. No runs. 1 hit, 1 left. 7th inning stretch time. 7-2 Boston. Chevy dealers. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Nice shot of the Trump. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Pomeranz has completed his night.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a busy night for Drew Pomeranz. A lot going on. As you see in his 6 innings, he gives up 6 hits. He walks 5. He strikes out 6, but yet just gives up 2 runs. There are times he made some pitches when he needed to. He got bailed out by his defense on a couple of occasions. And the bottom line, 6 innings, 2 runs. He leaves with the lead, and he will turn it on to turn it over to Heath Hembree, coming on for the 40th time. 43 strikeouts and 40 innings to go along with just 7 walks. You'd better be ready to swing the bat. El Dorado is coming at you.
Well, here we go into the bottom of the 7th inning. The Rays have made a couple of what turned out to be false starts. They got both their runs in the 4th inning, a couple other opportunities, and they failed to score. And now here we go, top of the order with Steven Souza Jr. fouling the first pitch he sees from Hembree. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs off Pomeranz, 109 pitches. 6 strikeouts and 5 walks. There's a shot back into straightaway center. Bradley's going to run out of room. That baby's gone. Home run to center for Steven Souza Jr. That's number 17. Second hit tonight, and that makes it 7-3. Well, that gives the Rays fans something to cheer about.
Absolutely. It gets that dugout excited once again. Heath Hembree coming in, blasting fastballs. And Steven Souza Jr., a no-doubter to straightaway center. Boy, he gets the barrel out, and everybody knew it.
Well, he hit one off Hembree up in Boston in the middle of May, and has done it again here to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, tying his career high 17 home runs in a single season. I 1-0 to Dickerson. Cut the miss. 1-1. The fastball up around 96. Souza connects for the 2nd time this year off Hembree. It's a line drive. This one gets away from Marrero. Was sinking on him. Dickerson's going to dig for second, and he'll arrive ahead of the throw. That gets by, but it's backed up by Moreland. And Dickerson winds up at second base. That'll be a double for Dickerson.
Just trying to put the ball in play, and he hits it hard. Just a flick of the wrist. Marrero not able to come up with this one. And the Rays once again start to press the action here a little bit, trying to draw themselves back into this game.
There's Evan Longoria. He singled in the 5th inning. In the DH tonight. Matt Barnes up in the bullpen. So a home run and a double to greet the right-hander Hembree. Jumbo Diaz standing on the mound in the Rays bullpen. Ball, no strikes. Bounces it back. Fastball in the mid-90s. Two. It's a base hit into right field. Dickerson will advance to third and stop there. 3 consecutive hits for the Rays at the bottom of the 7th. So they get something cooking here.
Well, again, with 2 strikes, and Henry just continues to attack with the fastball. Just take it the other way. Tries to go up, doesn't get it there. And Evan Longoria got plenty of room to work with over there, just punches it through. And here come the Rays once again. This Boston bullpen has been so very good all season long. But getting touched up here. Nobody out still in the 7th. They've got 9 more outs to get.
Well, Logan Morrison set to be the hitter. And I'll tell you, it's a 4-run game, but with one swing of the bat, he could make it a 1-run game in a hurry. Public Bank Draft Group blends hospitality and comfort while offering local craft beers and themed signature food items. Tropicana Field's premier destination area exclusively for Rays season ticket holders. The Republic Bank Draft Room. Call 888-FAN-RAYS for information. Morrison 0 for 1, a strikeout, and 2 walks with a run scored tonight. Foul. One ball, 1 strike. The Rays have had some other opportunities. A couple have gotten away. They scored 2 in the 4th. They have another run in the 7th, and men on the corners with nobody out. Morrison at the plate. Ramos on deck. It's a tap foul. 1 and 2. Guerrero cuts across and moves in between first and second, leaving Lynn alone on the left side and barely on the left side.
Yeah, a wide open left side for Logan Morrison. If he gets a pitch away, not going to have to do too much.
One, 2, and a cut and a miss on the fastball. Morrison out on strikes.
Well, he desperately needed that, and that's going to be the end of his night as John Farrell coming out and making the move. Fastball middle up.
So Hembree gets 1 out. Leaves with 2 men on. He's allowed 1 run so far And a pitching change coming. Honda dealers. Pitching change for Boston. Matt Barnes in this game. Rays with men at first and third. A run home on the home run by Souza Jr. 1 out. Barnes comes on for the 40th time.
Fastball, slider, curveball. Opponents average at 197, and a big strikeout guy with 47 of them and 38 in the third.
Ramos stepping in against him. They have not matched up before. And there's a little chop down to third. Marrero to Pedroia 1 and over to first. 1 pitch. And Barnes on the breaking ball gets the double play to end that threat. We go to the 8th. 7-3 Boston. Catch up all night. Now down by 4 as we go to the 8th. They've had some missed opportunities. Second and third, 1 out in the second inning, and on the bunt play, the Red Sox got 2 outs to end that threat abruptly. Alex Smith bunting into that. Rays scored a couple in the 4th and then threatened to get in the 5th, but a double play off the bat of Wilson Ramos ended that threat. And after they scored a run in the 7th, Ramos again with a little tap to third ended that threat with a 5-4-3 double play. So on to the 8th we go, and Jumbo Diaz On the pitch for the Rays, 2 2/3 for Chase Whitley, and now it's Diaz.
Well, Whitley was able to give the Rays a little bit of length there, and Jumbo comes on now for the 29th time. 27 2/3 innings, 26 strikeouts. I'll tell you, the Rays in this game have had some opportunities, and the double play ball has gotten them a couple of times with the bases juiced.
It's been frustrating through 7 here. And we go to the 8th with Diaz out there. Sue Lin leads it off. He has a base hit and 3 at bats and a run scored. Diaz delivers too high. It's 1-0.
The Rays have left 8 runners on base. Is that right?
8 on base. Yep.
They've had a couple of double play balls go against them. They had 2 guys. You think about the bunt from Malik Smith.
Yeah.
A lot of runners given away, or outs given away.
Choice, 2 outs.
Yeah.
Resulting from that play, and then 2 5-4-3 double plays. Diaz promptly falling behind Lynn, 3-0. Lynn drew 2 walks last night, singled and scored tonight, and is ahead 3-0 in the count. It's Marrero on deck. Strike 1. Full count. And he's on base, drawing a walk to lead off the 8th. Devin Marrero has sacrificed and has 2 base hits. Cutting a miss. Last appearance for Diaz was a week ago in Baltimore. He pitched 1 inning, 1 scoreless inning. In a game the Rays won in 10 innings, 6-4. In fact, he got the win in that game. There's a strike. 0-2. He's walked the first man, now ahead of Marrero. High velocity fastball and slider. Featured by Jumbo Diaz. The runner is Len. Foul.
Tried to get him right there with that slider. Stayed in, and Murray able to foul it off. Diaz, we've seen that fastball velocity reach into the upper 90s.
the pitches. He just never got out in front on it. Marrero able to just slap it foul.
A ball, 2 strikes. Slider is fouled off.
Well, the last 2, he's not been able to get the hand out in front and get that ball down and away. Both of them have backed up, and both of them Marrero was able to foul off. It happens from time to time, and you go through that list in your head, you know, the keys that you have to be able to make the adjustment to get back on point.
Runner with a good jump. Ground ball up the middle. Safe at second to throw to first in time, and that's quite a pickup by Miller. He made a quick stab at second base, but too late as Lynn was breaking, and the Rays get the out at first.
Yeah, Lynn breaking took the defense right into the middle of the field where the ball was hit, and there's Brad Miller able to slide in backhand but not get to the bag before Lynn did. And Echeverria behind him diving. Brad Miller gets to his feet, makes a strong throw over to Logan Morrison.
Now we go to the top of the order. Mookie Betts. This one by Ramos, and over to third base goes Lynn.
Well, you're not going to see that very often. That almost looked like it went right through the webbing of the glove. Certainly a pitch that Wilson Ramos is going to handle. Boy, he ends up squeezing that glove just a hair too soon, and the ball right off the end.
The pass ball on the slider. Field up now. Slider for a strike. Betts opened the scoring with a double back in the third. Drove in a run that later scored in that inning.
Right there could have been called a strike. It's a good pitch. It was outside of the body of Wilson Ramos, but still looked like it caught the outside corner.
A high popper, and in foul territory, Plouffe makes the catch.
Well, that's big. That is big. You get that out, that runner on third, and a very accomplished hitter at the plate in Mookie Betts. And now forget about that runner at third. Just retire the hitter and get out of this inning.
Here's Andrew Benintendi. Ball, no strikes. Hot shot to first. Morrison with the scoop, but he'll make the race to the bag and win it. No runs, a walk, and a man left. Bottom of the 8th coming. 7-3. That's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live. Pre-game show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from Alex Cobb, who will be on the mound for the Rays, and Orestes will break down second baseman Dustin Pedroia of the Red Sox. Brad Miller, Rays second baseman, leads off here in the bottom of the 8th against Matt Barnes. Ball, no strikes. Brad's been on 3 times with a double, single, and a walk. Drove in a run with his 4th inning single. One and one. Adam Kolarek up in the bullpen. Wide. 2-1. Three and one. Go. Fan down near the bullpen.
We're getting this Rayhawk ready.
Yeah.
The stretch run.
You know, he's a little nostalgic for that run.
You get it ready and then you tint it blue in September.
High pop. Foul ball. And an attempt by Vasquez. Boy, that's a tough play. Marrero came hustling down, trying to give him some help. And Miller is still alive.
Yeah, they had a chance there. That ball stayed in and it stayed within range. Vasquez had to cover some ground to get over to the dugout and not able to get there. See how close it was. John Farrell getting out of the way. There's the reach, just not far enough.
High pop again. This one's going to reach the stands. Both Marrero and Vasquez headed over there. Did you notice that Farrell got out of there and left his pitching coach, Carl Willis, just to fend for himself?
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, now
on the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now see, you had to move Gary DiSarcina in there to separate him.
Yeah, that's right.
Carl Willis not
Something
real happy.
has come between Farrell and his pitching coach, Carl Willis. It's Gary DiSarcina. There's ball 4. Miller draws a walk and he's on for the 4th time. He's had a busy night back. Well, there you go. How about this? A little stroll down memory lane.
You know, what I will tell you is, first of all, who approved that to be used on a card? It looked like an idiot, number one. Number two, that look is what inspired me to just take it all off, because you can't really see from this angle, but there was a crosswalk about halfway back on that bad boy. And, you know, when the season was over, it was either grow the hair out from there or just take it all off and start over. And I took it all off. And I said, you know what, this is kind of easy. And it went from a 2-guard to a 1-guard to balding clippers. And now it's every other day you just shave it with the razor against the grain. So it's perfectly smooth, at least for a few hours. And, you know,
it looks good.
It's easy.
Yeah. 1-1.
Yeah, that was the those were the trading cards, the Rays trading cards from that season.
They
were
have
a giveaway.
to be collectible.
Well, they all of them were normal action shots, coaches with their uniform, and then I get that. So whoever was behind that, not a big fan.
One the count to Plouffe for the man on. Where the Rays have been just within reach of being right in this game. You know, here you are again. You know, if Booth hits one out, now it's a 2-run game. Anything could happen. Nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. They've been in this situation 3 or 4 times, it seems, tonight. Still trying to get there.
Still trying to figure this game out. It's so many twists and turns.
Count still 1-2.
And you're right. The Rays have been threatening all night long, but yet only 3 runs on the board. How many walks? I mean, there were 5 by Pomeranz. 6 walks.
Yeah. But they've the Red Sox have been fortuitous with the double play.
Yes, a number of them. Boy, 2 of them coming with the bases loaded. Those hurt. And that one ball by Wilson Ramos was smoked. Nice play by Marrero down there.
Kloof is out on strikes. 1 on, 1 out in the 8th inning. Let's check in with Rich Hollenberg.
Well, you guys know, win, lose, or draw. We'll have Rays Live, the postgame, brought to you by WB Mason, coming up immediately following the game. We'll hear what Kevin Cash thinks about this bounce-back game for the Red Sox after losing Game 1 4-1. They end up with 7 right now against the Rays. We'll also hear from starting pitcher Jake Odorizzi and get you set for the rest of the weekend series, a 4-game set against the White Sox coming up right after the game. WB Mason's Rays Live, the postgame, boys.
All right, thank you. Yeah, 2 big games coming up leading up to the All-Star break. There's a ball to Malik Smith. 0 for 3 tonight. Pomeranz worked 6, Embry a 3rd. Barnes got the double play ball for 2/3 of an inning on 1 pitch. Now 1 on, 1 out in the 8th. Up the left side. That's going to be a fair ball and a base hit. Miller advances to second. 2 men on with 1 out. Here go the Rays again, trying to build a threat.
Well, yeah, how many of these times have the Boston Red Sox invited them back into this game? You keep opening the door. Maybe sometimes the Rays going to be able to kick it in, but they again will get. You're almost ready to go back to the top of the order, but 2 runners aboard again after another gift walk to lead off the inning.
Well, the Rays have 10 hits. So do the Red Sox. Danny Echeverria is the hitter.
Yeah, that's when you start adding it up. 10 hits, 6 walks. You've had 16 base runners here into the 8th inning. Chance after chance after chance, and you figure you get enough of them, something's gonna break.
And the pitch is low, says Jerry Meals. Well, let's visit the runners in scoring position. 2 for 9 tonight, the Rays. One and one. Joe Kelly, hard-throwing right-hander up in the bullpen.
I'll tell you, he's been on some kind of run too, coming out of that pen for John Farrell. Well, this whole unit has.
And now it's 1 and 2.
Curveball right there, just off the table. Barnes is sneaky fast with the heater, and then you've got the slider, the curveball to go along with it. And he does a nice job of mixing those 3 pitches.
that. The fastball, Echeverria, is out on strikes.
Vasquez asking for the pitch down to throw everybody off, and now he comes up at the last second, wants that fastball up. Doesn't quite get there, and Echeverria got a piece of it. And obviously frustrated that Vasquez was able to hold on to it.
Well, it's Steven Souza Jr. now with 2 outs and 2 men on. Again, the Rays putting up a threat.
Well, listen, he blasted one in his last at bat.
Rays have had men on base in every inning except the 3rd. Souza's been on base 3 times. First pitch is up. The home run to center field to begin the bottom of the 7th, connecting off the right-hander Heath Henry. Men on with 2 men out. Souza pops it up, shallow center, out from second. Pedroia. The Rays again threaten but do not score, leaving 2. We go to the 9th. Rays down 7-3. Game 3 will be with you at 3:30 on Fox Sports Sun. Alex Cobb will be on the hill for the Rays after win number 7. And Rick Porcello will be on the hill to oppose him for Boston. Porcello comes in 4-10 after winning the Cy Young Award in 2016. In fact, the next 2 days the Rays will face 2 former Cy Young Award winners. Porcello tomorrow, who won it in 16, and Price on Sunday, who won it in 2012. Adam Kolarek will make his 4th appearance here for the Rays. And he's on to face Dustin Pedroia to begin the 9th. First pitch wide and by Ramos.
Kolarek, an intriguing bullpen piece. You know, he's got that sidearm, not quite submarine style, from the left side. But then we see him all of a sudden come up more of a low 3/4, and he'll add a couple of miles an hour to you, giving you a completely different look. Been an interesting guy to watch.
1-2. Kimbrel up in the bullpen for Boston.
There it is.
And Pedroia reaching is out on strikes.
You see, he starts down on that submarine style for the first few pitches of the at-bat, and then changes the arm angle. And all of a sudden, up goes the velocity. It's a different look, and Dustin Pedroia reaching. More, I tell you.
Mitch Moreland. Moreland 0 for 3 with a walk. He has scored a run. One and 0. Tapper foul. Walked in the 5th inning. Mostly scored on a fielder's choice ground ball by Christian Vasquez. All 7 runs charged to the Rays starter Jake Odorizzi. The soft pitch that missed inside just a bit. That one at 66 miles per hour.
Yeah, trying to, a little breaking ball right there from down under. It just squirted out of the hand. Almost got Moreland.
2-2. Well, it's a different angle.
Yeah, well,
for sure.
You can see that in the swings. These Boston hitters getting their first look at Kolarek. This is when he drops down. That arm right at about 45 degrees, complete sidearm.
Tries it again, and it's popped into short left. Dickerson is there to make the catch. So a strikeout and a pop fly to left. 2 up, 2 down. And the hitter will be Hanley Ramirez. Rays in the bottom of the 9th will have Dickerson, Longoria, and Morrison. Any deeper, Ramos. Hey, who knows?
Well, that's why John Farrell is not going to mess around. He's going to bring in Craig Kimbrel, even though it's not going to be a safe situation. And with the All-Star break coming up, you're going to see the big boy coming in. But you're right. Nothing else tonight's been predictable.
It's 1-1. On a 2. Fastball in the mid-80s. That's a foul ball. Wow, just foul. Ron Culpa made the call. Relatively quiet down there for Culpa, and he had to make that quick call.
Yeah, quick. I mean, it got on him right now. I don't think he was expecting it either. Let's see how close it is.
Yep, just foul.
And I mean just. It's a good call.
Fly ball deep to right. Souza will go to the wall, and that's out of here. Kolarek gives up a home run. Now it's 8-3. 13th home run of the year for Ramirez, and the team coming into this game last in the American League in home runs. Well, the Red Sox have hit 3 tonight.
Of course, because we highlighted coming into this ball game how their style of offense, occasional home run, but it's more about creating opportunities, moving base runners, and being clutch with runners in scoring position. It's been the long ball here tonight, and Hanley Ramirez gets into this offering and takes it the other way. Souza Jr. giving it a good shot, but that ball well gone.
Well, he's now scored 1,000 runs in his career.
I guess if you're going to hit 1,000, drive yourself in. That's the way to do it.
Yep. It matters into your own hands. 1-1 to count to Bradley, who homered back in the 4th inning, and he hits that one twice on the backswing and sends it toward the dugout.
Isn't that a penalty? That's a penalty.
Take a look. Yeah.
You just see Jackie Bradley Jr. surprising. What just happened?
Ground ball to short. Echeverria's throw to first in time. A run scores on the home run. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Dickerson, Longoria, and Morrison due in an 8-3 game. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The Rays will have their big bats coming up, and they're going to need all the good fortune they can muster. Our Bonefish Grill catch of the game, and take a look at this. Benintendi made that great grab. That's the catch of the game.
Now pitching for Boston, right-hander number 46, Craig Kimbrel.
Kimbrel in the game, making his 36th appearance. And in a non-save situation.
Well, how dominant has he been? You look at the strikeouts to innings pitched.
Dickerson doubled in the 7th inning. One and one. Sometimes closers have trouble in non-save situations like this.
Don't have the same adrenaline rush that you normally get when you're coming in to lock things down, even though that's exactly what you're doing here. Sometimes the cushion's a little too big. Boy, they really hate coming into games where they're trailing and you're just getting some work in because you haven't pitched in a while.
Swing and a miss. It's 98 up. And Kimbrough strikes out Dickerson.
Look how he just pushes and fires that thing towards home plate and just continues to rise. Ends up around the shoulders, as you see right there. Very little chance you're going to be able to get up to that pitch at 98 miles an hour.
And then, just for fun, there's a breaking ball.
Yeah, and he stays close for such a long time and creates some deception as if he needs it with the stuff that he features.
Swinging through the pitch up at 99. Well, coming into this inning, these three hitters against Kimbrough were a combined 1 of 18. Longoria 1 for 5 against Kimbrough. And is out on strikes. 99 on that one. Well, both pitching staffs now have struck out 9 opposing hitters. 2 outs with the bases empty here in the 9th inning.
You see how that ball just rides up. I mean, it's like you're throwing against gravity. At that velocity, no less.
And the ball disappears with that curveball. Strike 1 on Logan Morrison.
Did I read a stat where, and I could be way off base here, but at this point I could care less, where Craig Kimbrell over the course of his career has struck out more hitters than hits he's given up? By some margin, it was historical. Something to go with that.
That seems altogether feasible. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Man, it was something. We'll have to find that for tomorrow's game. I remember reading that, and it just mind-boggling, the level of his dominance over the course of his career.
More strikeouts than hits. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but the more that you think about it, of course that's going to be that way. There was something else.
Because that's almost a 6-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. No, it's something else. Where it was historical. I mean, no one in the game has done it. We'll have to find that out.
He's got 713 strikeouts and 235 hits.
Yeah, that was not it.
And he strikes out the side to end this game. A fastball at 99. So Morrison is out on strikes. 3 up, 3 down go the Rays. And the Red Sox even the current series at a game apiece after the Rays won last night 4-1. The Red Sox win this one 8-3. Pomeranz will get his 9th win. 9-4. And Odorizzi, the losing pitcher, dropping his record to 5-4. Crowd of over 24,000 here tonight. For Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast, if not the outcome. Coming up, Rays Live, the postgame presented by W.B. Mason.